We're talking about the online-only currency. No backing by governments, no backing by central banks. It was actually created back in 2009 by a mysterious programmer, and its value is created purely by demand. So bitcoins can actually buy things, from Finnish dentistry that take bitcoins to even little San Francisco coffee shops and bakeries. Since Sunday, Bloomberg Businessweek has been looking at the downloading of Bitcoin applications. Apps shot up, specifically in Spain, and this is just as the news was hitting that the Cypriots might actually have to sacrifice some of their savings, getting taxed, perhaps to help with the bailout. Nick Kolas is a strategist at Convergence. He actually follows Bitcoin very closely, and he says there's a correlation here, and this is a sign that the European savers are feeling some stress. How about that?
Spain on Sunday, though, is it because they just have simply no faith in their own government?
Well, perhaps, or perhaps there is a loss of sort of confidence in the currency as well, which we have noticed the Bitcoin price surging, and it's not just in the last
So lose
days.
confidence in the euro and gain confidence in a currency with absolutely no power to tax, right? That, in theory, is the point of a currency, right? That you can raise money through taxation and back. Or, I mean, once upon a time it was gold. Now it's, you know, the idea that you can honor your debts and grow your economy and that kind of thing.
No government, no central bank, and that's part of the allure of Bitcoin.
Who finances it?
Well, look, it is all created. There's a supply out there, and it's set by an algorithm. It can't reach more than 21 million Bitcoins, and it basically every few hours multiplies and then halves. It's this very complicated thing.
It sounds like an amoeba.
And the price of it has absolutely skyrocketed because demand has been surging for this. It is outperforming every other currency this year, up more than 300%.
Okay, so is there any fundamental justification for the appeal of Bitcoin? Because you know how I feel about this, Sarah. I look at Bitcoin and I think to myself, Farmville, this is virtual nonsense.
Well, and the fear of the algorithm. Think about all of the problems we've seen. If you talk to any critics of high-frequency trading, and they talk about you don't want to be in a situation where you're dependent on an algorithm. And we're talking about actual currency here.
Well, are we, though? Are we talking let's talk to Ron Paul and Ben Bernanke about whether this is or isn't a currency.
Look, it has had fans, and even the European Central Bank, no joke, has mentioned Bitcoin and has talked about virtual currencies as a risk to credibility for currencies like the euro and like the dollar. It is gaining fans. We're talking about a $700 million market, though. This is by no means mainstream, but I bet you guys will hear a lot more about it.
We will hear a lot more about it, but will we hear a lot more about it in the context of something like Zynga's share price, which reflects people's lack of confidence in virtual things?
There's even an effort inside the Treasury Department in one of its units to look at potentially even regulating it. Prominent economists like Nassim Taleb have come out and said there's something
Nassim is a philosopher. He's not an economist.
Okay, but he's also very credible.
He's a philosopher, so he's a man who likes to talk about things. Clearly, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin.
I'm not here to
defend it. Are we going to buy into it?
Just watch it.